Are you looking for a shortcut to project management? Well, this is not the video for you. Today I want to talk about my journey to becoming a project manager and how you can be one too. Hey everybody, welcome to The Practical Place. I'm Ryan Holguin, a certified project management professional, and today I want to share with you my journey to becoming a project manager. And if you're somebody who's not sure what you want to do with your career, you're interested in project management, hopefully this video is an encouragement to you and it helps give you that motivation to pursue the career. Let's get right into the story. The story starts back in 2016 where I'm married, I have 2 kids, and I have no idea what I want to do with my life. I'd always been a hard worker, but I didn't know the politics of how to grow in my career. I studied music production in college because I had dreams of wanting to go into the music industry and do that, but once I started to have a family and started to have kids, I realized that wasn't something I could pursue and I wasn't that good, so I need to be good to do that. I got my degree and I started getting jobs, and as I was in school, the goal for me was to get a better paying job, and it didn't matter what that was. There was a time where I was working for the city that I lived in, working for the parks department, fixing a lot of the irrigation systems in the parks and things like that. I worked at a warehouse bagging chips and tried to get a better job to support my wife and my kids. And then in 2016, one of my wife's friends' mom had actually mentioned that they were hiring at the company she worked at. And this was an entry-level customer service job. I thought, what the heck? I need a better job anyways. It seems like a stable job, seems like a great company. Let's go ahead and give it a try. I did that in 2016, was able to get the job, and it was what you could think of. It was answering phone calls, helping customers, placing orders, things like that. Still didn't know what I wanted to do, but I was happy and thankful that I got in with a great company. I worked in that role for about a year and a half or so, and then I was able to leverage that and to do more technical support, still answering phones, but still pretty entry level, helping customers with any technical questions they had about our products. During that time, I'd been given some more responsibilities that were more project management work. I was managing specific projects that had a start and end date. I didn't know that that was called project management, but I did it because I wanted to create value where I was at. And then I met a guy at church who was very gracious. He was successful in his career and he had offered to mentor me for free. Him and I met around I want to say it was about 2018. We met about 6 times total because we met once a month for about 6 months. And during that time, my mind was enlightened to the politics of corporate America and how to navigate my career and what goes on behind the scenes, or the unspoken rules of business and corporate America, if you will. I had good faith in people, blind faith in people, thinking that work hard, I don't have to talk about it, I don't have to ask for anything, I don't have to seek out new jobs because people are going to recognize it and they're going to want to offer me a promotion. That was the way I thought about it, and I didn't know any better. Meeting with this mentor, he opened my eyes to the fact that anybody successful around me, these people are talking about their careers pretty regularly with their managers. It's something that I need to start emphasizing. I started to practice with my manager. At the time, we would have weekly one-on-ones and I would talk about my career. Hey, what's a good path for me? What are skills that I'm good in? What are things I need to work on? And he helped me have those conversations because I used to think it was taboo to talk about my career and growth. I didn't know. Nobody taught me that. I didn't learn that. But this mentor showed me that, and I started to get used to those conversations, comfortable with them, and he helped me frame my mind into not being nearsighted and to think of my career as the long game. We're playing the long game here. The pivotal moment to becoming a project manager was in one of my meetings with my mentor. He asked me, what do you want to do next? And I didn't have an answer for it. And he mentioned the project management industry. I had never looked into it. I'd known somebody that was a project manager at the time, didn't know much about it, didn't ask him about it, but I'd heard of it. I didn't know what it did. Seemed pretty self-explanatory to me, and once I read about it a little bit, it seemed like something I was interested in. It's somebody who oversees a project start to finish, helps motivate people. I enjoy motivating people, helps to make sure things get done on time with high quality. That was something I was always passionate about. To find out that there was an industry that aligned with some of my passions, I was excited about that. The next step was, well, how do I get a project management job? He encouraged me, okay, what you need to do is look within your company and look for departments that either are hiring for project managers or that have project managers in their department. What I did was I started to look, and I saw that there was a posting for a project manager job that had been up for about a month, and he encouraged me to reach out to the hiring manager. And with it being posted for that long already at this point, reach out with the intention of getting to understand the position and understanding what this hiring manager values in a project manager. So with no strings attached, you reach out to the hiring manager, and that's what I did. I reached out to him, scheduled a meeting, and I asked the questions, hey, I may not be ready for this job right now, but what are some things that you would like to see from me in order for me to be ready to be a project manager for you one day. What my mentor also taught me was that people want to talk about themselves. When you go and ask somebody, hey, share with me your wisdom, they're excited to do that because you think highly of them. They're smart and they're going to share that. We all have that in us. We get excited when somebody asks us for help because we want to be the person to give them that knowledge that we have, and it makes us feel good. And so it's kind of a win-win for everybody. In this conversation, he actually said that they had offered somebody the job and they accepted it. Some of the things he did mention that I could do was there was a local college offering a project management certification, and going through that course based on some of the subjects that they would teach, it could be helpful for me to learn some of the technical terms and some of the technical skills of the job. He said maybe if you pursue that, that would be helpful for you in the future if you wanted to pursue this department. One of the other things that I was told to ask was if him and his team ever need anything from me, I'm happy to help them out. Even in my job right now, if there's anything I can do, let me know. And no matter how big or small, I'd be happy to help you guys out. And it shows that I can add value, and it gives him a sample of what I can do if I were to work for him. Fast forward about 6 months or so, there was one time where he reached out where his team had this heavy workload, and a lot of it was administrative work. They needed to load and export a bunch of data from one system to another, and it was time consuming, and he asked if I was interested in helping him. I jumped on it, wanted to be a man of my word. That was a good reminder that some of the things that we talked about months prior had stuck with him, and he'd remembered me. I ended up pursuing this certification in project management, ended up getting that, followed up with the hiring manager after I'd gotten that and let him know some of the things I worked on, and he was impressed by that. I want to say within 6 months or so of me having that initial meeting with the hiring manager, there was a job opening in his department. Now, it wasn't for a project manager job, but it was called a quote representative job. I would assist the project managers, do a lot of the administrative stuff, won't be as involved in the project management side of things, but more on the data entry. He called me before they were going to post the job and asked if I was interested in applying and interviewing, and he said the intention would be, if they were to offer me the job, that the goal would be to get me promoted to a project manager. There wasn't a time frame for that, but it was a good positive step forward because I went from no job posting to having a meeting with him, doing the things that I said I would do in that meeting, impressing him that way, and him following up with me about a position that they were going to hire for. And he recognized me and remembered me because I fulfilled the things that I said I would do for him. And once I got into that position, fast forwarding, this was about September of 2020. I want to say January of 21, I had actually got a call as I was working in this role with this new department now from another hiring manager in the company, but a different department. I'd worked with them in the past, showing my willingness to work hard and work on projects. He mentioned to me that they were actually going to hire for a project manager. They hadn't posted the job posting yet, but he was wanting to know if I was interested in applying. Here I am, 2 years prior, I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. And now I have hiring manager reaching out to me about a project manager job. Now, granted, I didn't talk to this hiring manager about being interested in project management or anything like that, but I had worked with him on other projects. He had seen a little bit of what I was capable of, but I'd never talked to him about that explicitly. The fact that he was offering this to me, if I was interested, was pretty mind-blowing to me because, like I said, 2 years prior, I didn't know what I was doing with my life. And 6 months ago, I was barely on this track, and I had a little bit of more of a direction. I had a better framework for where I wanted to go. And what that ended up doing was that hiring manager talked to my supervisor in my department, and what ended up happening was my supervisor offered me a promotion and said, hey, we know that he's asking you for this position. We granted him permission to do that, but we want to give you the same offer for this job, for this department, if you don't want to accept his offer. I go from, like I said, 2 years prior, not knowing what I want to do, and then 6 months prior to starting to understand a little bit about where I want to go, start having conversations, start putting in the work, and fulfilling the things I say I'm going to do. And now I have 2 offers to be a project manager in 2 different departments from 2 different hiring managers. What I ended up doing was declining the other hiring manager and stayed with the same department, but I was encouraged by the work and the understanding that I'd learned from my mentor. It's just about conversations and stating your intentions with hiring managers and letting them know what you want to do from a humble place and fulfilling the things they say. If you ask them for advice and they give you advice, take their advice. Don't just go in there expecting for them to offer you the job or to give you a shortcut, but they're going to give you advice. Some of it might seem like a long ways away if you do what they say. It's pretty uncertain. I mean, it was uncertain for for me, but hindsight is I wasn't focused on a timeline because my mentor taught me that it was about playing the long game. Being able to have these conversations, have an understanding that these conversations aren't awkward. They're actually being had all the time by hiring managers and professionals all the time with their supervisors or whoever. And it's okay to state your intentions with your supervisor and to let them know what you want to do. And project management for me has given me a sense of purpose now. I ended up working in that job for about a year, and now I'm in a new project manager role that I've been in about a little over 2 years now. And for me, I feel like the ceiling is high because though I'm relatively young in my career, I feel like I've learned a lot in my time working from a customer service rep in the same company up to a project manager now on the product marketing side. And it's helped me grow. I ended up getting my project management professional certification and diving deep into this industry. It's given me a sense of purpose, so many variety of pathways you can go in project management. I mean, it's crazy to think that in 2016, starting with this company, not knowing where I wanted to go, and now I found project management through a lot of hard work, through a lot of mistakes. I finally found something that fulfills me, which is project management. It affords me a great life for my family, and it fulfills me every day when I get up to work. I'm very excited to work. I'm excited to get the job done. If you're somebody that is very unclear or feeling lost in your career, I would encourage you to pursue or even think about project management, maybe even research it to see if it's something you're interested in, because I wasn't a project manager. I wasn't pursuing project management when I heard about what it was. Once I started to discover what it was, I realized that there were ways that I was actually functioning like a project manager. I would encourage you, if you're somebody that's lost, to look at your job right now, look at what you're doing, and if it's not in project management or if you've never thought about project management, look at maybe ways that you are functioning as a project manager. Look at positions within your company that are project management or departments that have project managers, and reach out to the hiring managers and ask for a meeting and get to know them, get to know what they want in a productive project manager. Even if you're not even close to being that, I think that you pursuing that and taking that first step is going to enlighten you. And whatever those folks say, whatever that manager tells you, like I said earlier, take their advice, do what they say. If that is truly something that you end up liking and end up being interested in, I would say to take their advice and do it. And though this is just my story and I don't know all the stories out there, I'm certainly confident to say that I don't believe that there are any shortcuts. It's going to take a lot of hard work. It's going to take a lot of mistakes. It's going to take a lot of conversations. You're going to have to put yourself out there in front of people to get to know what they value in a project manager. But that's my story. That's one of many out there. If project management is something that you're interested in, I would encourage you to leave a comment below. If you have any questions about where to start, where to go, what to research, or any questions about project management, I will answer every question that I see there. If this video was encouraging or if you enjoyed it in any way, subscribe here to The Practical Place. That's going to do it for today. Again, my name is Ryan Holguin, here with The Practical Place, where project management meets real life. I will see you in the next video.